Greetings and salutations, universe. This is Creeta, and this is Omni Factory. Woohoo! So, I hope you are all doing well. It feels like everything is slowly coming back to normal in the nation, if you know what I mean, and hopefully in the world at large. Ooh, it's exciting. You know what else is exciting? This episode, I hope to accomplish a few things. We have a few more machines that I'd like to make, but first, I want to improve our power generation, which has improved in between episodes a little bit, but I think there might be a really big improvement we can make, and I want to automate a whole bunch of little things using machines that we have already made. So let's get cracking on that. Now, in between episodes, I have made a cluster mill and a polarizer. The polarizer allows us to make those magnetic rods. So if I take like iron rods, for example, these two, we can toss them in the polarizer, and instead of using redstone, which we used to have to use 4 whole redstone to make that like magnetic, now this just does it for a little bit of energy. It's very nice. Oh, I love it. And we're going to toss it back in our components chest. This is all sorts of stuff that we can use to make stuff with, so it's very nice. Very lovely. Now, speaking of this cluster mill, I thought we needed it right now, but we don't quite need it yet. And we also have a whole bunch of other machines. These are just sort of backups in case I want to do some mass crafting. And I've learned in between episodes how to make something function with some auto export stuff. So let's take a look at how we are going to do that by utilizing some macerators and a furnace. Oh yeah, that's another machine we made. And we're going to put those together with some cobblestone generators, just some steel plates, lava buckets, water, no big deal. Let's craft a whole bunch of those. 7 hopefully will do nicely. And we're going to go over to a location right here. And we already have some power conduits going up with some facades. Man, I love facades. In the background, and some lined up framed drawers. Now we're gonna toss a macerator here and here, and we're gonna grab a good old little wrenchy boy, and I'm gonna test to see if we right click. I know that if we right click here, that will work. You'll see the output spot right there, or if we right click in sort of underneath the location right here, the center, and then there's a spot right here. This will allow us to output as well. The only thing is you have to right click, item auto output enabled. We could use like conveyors for this, but for the purpose of this, I'm just using a ludicrous amount of macerators, and I think we should be able to just toss these down like so, and we now have a whole bunch working. See, even the categories. Hi, kitty. So we're going to put all of these on auto output. Make sure that's right. Are we good? I think we're good. Yes, kitty. We'll be right with you. Now, I believe that if we put a generator up here, we should have everything functioning the way we want. Now, this generator might be giving extra cobblestone to this macerator. I'm not sure. Or it's just slow. Are you not auto-outporting? Ah, there we go. All right. To make sure everything's working, if you right-click on a spot and it opens, that means that it's on the right spot. So we are now producing unlimited dust, sand, and gravel. I don't believe we have a very good use for dust yet, but eventually this will allow us to make clay and netherrack. So I think having some dust on hand will be very nice. And maybe it'll just be a nice block to place down. I don't know. We might have a use for that. It looks pretty nice. I like it. But I have the belief that we should probably just automate all the things. The last thing we're going to have is a generator and a furnace right here. And this should auto-export to have stone. Yay. And then this guy, it's going to have cobblestone. So just like that, we've automated 5 things, which will be very useful. And just to make sure that we have all the power for this, I did increase from, I believe we had 3 steam dynamos, now we have 6. and they're all hooked up to our output, or our auto shut-off valve. When all of these guys are completely full, he's just a little bit drained right now, and he's draining quite a bit. He'll keep draining until those things are full. These can't quite keep up, but we have 4 of these to make sure that enough juice is flowing through the system. In fact, this guy looks like he might be draining. Oh no, he's charging. Cool. This one seems to not like getting energy, but that's besides the point. We're going to upgrade this system, hopefully in this episode, because I believe I saw a quest line that might help us out. Where, oh where did that quest line go? I believe it's in this early game map. Maybe it's not. Let's try and find it. There was a quest for a polarizer and an LV cluster mill. It looks like we're going to need capacitors to make the next tier of circuits, but for right now, I think we're not quite needing that. We're still looking, there it is, boilers and turbines. I was looking around, and we might be able to upgrade our steam dynamos into steam turbines using boilers and turbine converter thingamabobbers, boilers and turbines. There we go. And by the looks of it, the ratio is always 1 to 2 if all dynamos are equally upgraded. So that means that each one of these needs to have probably 1 fuel catalyzer and 1 of the other type of thing. But I'm also wondering if we can get some conversions going. What is this? So at thermal and upgrade. How many of these could we make right now? This takes Invar and an electrical steel thingamabobber. Could we make it an electrical steel thingamabobber? Silicone dust. I don't think we're quite at the ability to make this. We might be able to if we get a electrolyzer together. Let's see if we can do that, but let's focus on upgrading these guys to the next level. Now, it seems like we're going to need some hardened glass for our boiler conversion. So from the looks of it, this converts it into a steam boiler, which it makes it produce steam. And then this guy is a turbine dude, and he gets steam to turn stuff into fuel. And from the looks of it, per basic steam dynamo to 320 per set of 3, I think that we make 2 of these power generators for every one of these. So we're going to make 2 boilers and 4 turbines. So I've already macerated up a bit of obsidian and lead, which I think is what we need to make this special hardened glass. Let's toss that in there and just hope it works. Why not? Do we need that to be alloy smelter? Lead, obsidian. Obsidian, lead. Are they in the wrong orders? Did this have a inventory glitch? It looked like we had a small inventory glitch there. And that's okay. No big deal. By the looks of it, we won't need all that much of that. Hopefully this is enough hardened steel. What are we doing that for? We're making 2 boilers, right? 4 boilers, 2 boilers. So we only need 2 of these, and that should get us in the right direction. We also need a whole bunch of iron gears. I believe 6 of them. And let's see what else we need for this. So first up, we need some buckets. There are some buckets in there, so I guess we'll just use those. 1, 2. Perfect. Moving along. The next thing we want is these fancy-dancy steam thingamabobbers. Can we just make a few? What are we missing? Iron? Hey, we have iron up here. In fact, we have quite a few. If you're looking at the numbers up there, I can also shift right here. We have like 2,000 of almost everything, at least 1,000, pretty much. All the ingots, which is keeping me nice and happy. We should only need 1, 2, 3, 4 of these fellows. Which one did we need? Steam is produced. We need 2 more of those. So I think we're going to just grab some of those, toss those in there, boom. Oh, pull them out. These things are complicated, dudes. All right. So we have turbines and boilers. So if I understand it correctly, Probably the first thing that we want to do is tear all this down, and then we're going to place 2 of these facing 4 of them, which will be producing power. So I guess 4 of these could probably stay in the spot, but we might not need water going to all of them. Yeah, so let's tear this down a little bit and see if we can figure out a good system. Now, from what I understand, I think this is how it works. We can see that these guys, they have this boiler converter in there. They should output steam, I think. So, like so. We could do a quick test for that. But first, we need to be able to provide these with water. So we're going to toss those right there and toss this bad boy right there. They should now be getting water. Cool. Now the question is, if we provide this with charcoal, and I want to set up a conduit down here, we just haven't had access to item conduits. I think we could make those. Let's try just giving that a bit of stuff and see if this insane amount of water, this dense guy is way too much for this. It should be keeping up nicely. So this is now producing steam, and all of these guys are fully operational, hopefully. Steam usage, maximum steam. I want to know about your energy. 160. 160 as well. So we should be looking at, what is that, 640? 640 RF per tick. Supposing that it keeps up, and it looks like it is. Are we keeping up? I think so. Yeah, otherwise it wouldn't have gotten full, right? Now, I think that means that that's like almost, what would that be, like 2.6 times as good? Now, let's see if we can get the charcoal figured out. We just need to basically get some item conduits. So let's see if we can figure out item conduits. I think that they're a little bit different in this pack, and I think there might be even a quest for it. I see a quest right there. Pulsating iron. First it says we need pulsating dust. So let's take a look at that. Pulsating. So we really want this iron ingot. Pulsating iron ingot. And I bet it's an alloy smelter. Ah, there we go. So iron ingot. Normally this would be an ender pearl, but for this it is that. Well, we definitely don't have EV power, so we want to be looking here. We could be using resonant thingamabobbers. Nope, that requires MV power. So uranite. And this guy, we can just pulverize something, I'm hoping. Or, oh, alright, we'll just smelt some ore. And I believe that's one of the things that we have right here. So I'm going to grab a whole bunch of that, I think. Can we grab a whole bunch of that? I'd like to. What can we do with you? Can we pulverize you? Will that be okay? Pulverize, and then pulverize, and then centrifuge. Well, we don't really have a centrifuge quite yet, so we'll just toss this into a furnace. If we need more, we'll find more. Now this uranite stuff, I want to pull one out. I thought I grabbed 7 stacks. We only needed, well, I grabbed 8. We can take this uranite. Let's grab 16 of that. 16 is always a nice number, though it might not be in this case. We'll find out. And this we are going to alloy smelt somehow. What are we doing this? Oh, we need to smelt it again. Back into the smelter. Oh, hey, copper. I like it when I have ores that I don't expect. Ingots. And this should give us pulsating dust. Fantastic. Grabbing some more iron, we're going to grab some of this, and where's our alloy smelter? There it is. This right here should be giving us, well, first a quest complete for pulsating dust, and then we should have a quest complete for pulsating iron. Haha, sucker. And ender pearls. If you can't find any, ender pearls can be crafted using pulsating dust and a diamond. So if we really needed to, we could be getting ender pearls as well through this system. Alloy smelter. Ah, very nice. An ender alloy. Cool. I really want this item conduit. We need to use pulsating iron in the wire mill. So, where'd that just go? We picked that up, please? Thank you. We're going to make a bit more of this stuff. I think 6 is an excellent starting point. And we should be able to craft some item conduits. There we go. Thankfully, we are getting 4 I still somehow feel like we're getting gypped off on that. But, we have item conduits, and that's super exciting. We can start automating just a few more things. And I'm going to start... Man, look at all that. We have so much stuff going into these steam dynamos. We have redstone signal, water, and soon charcoal. So we're going to shift right-click. Nope, that was the wrong thing. Error. Redstone, item conduit, pressurized thingamabobber, but now that's not connected to this. Alright, give me a moment to fix this. There we go. Alright, so we have to be very careful on what one of these we click on. So we're clicking on the item conduit itself. And the north is what we want to be doing. We want to insert just like so. Should be relatively easy. On this guy we can right click without the wrench because we can see it a little bit easier. And we want to be inserting. Yes. Shift right click or shift left click again. And this time we're going to go up and always active with the extract. And I'm just going to give this a quick boost so that we continue to go. But this should be inserting faster into the steam dynamo, and then it'll keep this guy full. So it's 63, it should bounce up to 64 soon, and we're in good shape. In fact, we have so much charcoal, that should last a little while. 39,000. Yeah, let's just say this axe of mine right here, the Charngler, with smelting on it, is an amazing axe. We get all the charcoal in the world. There is another option in our quest book, which we'll be learning about soon, called Snad, and I think that allows us to make some crazy amount of power, but we'll learn about that in good time. I'd still like to be able to upgrade these. Let's see if that is feasible. Now, I did notice just now that there is a path to get to what I desire. I really want this hardened upgrade kit just for more efficiency with our charcoal and whatnot, and if there's a quest for it, we better do it. I also see this. This is looking very attractive. DML, Deep Mob Learning. I want to get to that so badly, but I think we need to get our power generation handled first, and I can always upgrade that by a considerable amount in between episodes. So for right now, let's focus on progression in terms of an electrolyzer. So by the looks of it, we just grab an electrolyzer with some gold wire, and that's pretty much the only thing that's special in that recipe compared to everything else. Where are we going to put this? And why didn't that quest activate? Oh, okay, so we need to connect this probably to the macerator somehow, or get a system that specializes in macerating and then electrolyzing. I'm not sure. Alternatively, we could start putting machines up. There's a lot of options here. For right now, we're just going to put some more cabling into the wall. For that, we're going to be grabbing our facades, and let's do that together. So I'm going to jump up here. Oh, that's a terrible hook. And we're going to toss that right here. You can see the facades back here. I'm going to put the cables back here. So now we have 3 cables to work with. We're going to go outside. In fact, we have a sword that we found in the city with travel on it. And we can shift right click and we'll go through the wall. Oh, how cool is that? And we have some icky wires that are now exposed. Jump up here. Oh, it's a terrible hook, but that's okay. And we're going to right click on these, on the center square, not the down square. That'll put it on the bottom. And now we don't see the icky cables. How awesome is that? And this sword is amazing too. Whew! I love that sword. And we can charge it down here. Or how do we charge the sword again? I think we grab one of these guys and it needs to be in charging mode. So tinker around with that. You'll see this sword get charged up. There we go. Max charge. Toss that back in here. And this little fella will not take very long to get its 10 mil charge back with these machines running. Ooh, they're so good. Okay, we got a little bit distracted there, but that's okay. Ooh, a macerator is connected here, so we might be able to make one of these guys a dedicated fellow. In fact, I think that's a great idea. So let us grab our wrench once more, our GregTech wrench, right click right there, auto output enabled. And this guy, we should be able to just sort of toss in some clay into that macerator. Let's find some clay. Here we go. And with any luck, if we put this clay in here, it'll pop up here. Oh, we might want to actually pull this clay out because the quest might want us to see it. There we go. And we're going to give it the clay. And it'll take a while, but from the looks of it, when we destroy this clay, so if we take a look at what we can do with clay, we can electrolyze it, which is what we're doing. It takes 20 seconds, but this is going to give us just a little tiny bit of silicone dust. It also gives us sodium, which is very nice, lithium, which is awesome. We had some trouble with lithium before, and aluminum, which will be very important for the future. So I'm looking forward to getting all of that stuff together. And now we have the silicone that we need. Was it silicone that we were after? I think it was, because we want to make electrical steel. And for that we need steel. Hey, we have steel and we now have silicone. Fantastic. So let's come on over here, and we have a ton of steel because Creeta's been working hard in between episodes. Just a reminder, that's just some like charcoal dust and wrought iron, I believe. Let's just make sure. Charcoal dust, wrought iron, beautiful. And you know I have a lot of charcoal. Toss that in right there, and we should be getting our first little bit of electrical steel. Fantastic. Now, what do we need for those upgrades? Let's search for that again. JEI is your friend. Hardened upgrade. We have a whole bunch of Invar here, and then we also have an electrical steel block. So it looks like we're going to need to make a bit of that. And we now have all of the electrical steel we need. Unfortunately, it looks like I feel like we might need our fluid solidifier. Now, unfortunately, we're almost out of time, and there is a quest for that. I don't quite want to get that set up, so I think we're going to go with a workaround. There's an alternate recipe, and let's see, can we grab... Do we have a compressor? There we go. So we need to make a gear thingamabobber. So let's see if we can figure that out in here. There we go. Gear. If we make a gear mold, we could do this in an alloy smelter, but it'll cost more Invar. I think that will do for us right now. So we're going to give this... Oh, empty shape plate. Ay. Gives us a whole bunch of this stuff. We're going to grab that and turn this plate into the gear mold. There we go. Gear mold. That looks good. And we should be able to toss these in here with the Invar ingots, and this might be able to make us the requisite gears that we need. While we wait for that, we're going to turn these into blocks. Hopefully that's not a complicated process. If you want to place, that would be appreciated. And then we should be all set. We're making the gears. We have the Invar plates, which was just a compressor, no big deal. And we should be in good order to make that. All we have to do is wait a little bit for some gears. And as we approach the 12th gear, I think that'll be enough waiting for the moment. I can always upgrade more momentarily, but I think 3, aka half of what we have down there, will be perfect. Now, we can see that we were making some clay, so we can always make more. Soon we'll be able to have that in a slightly better system, but for right now, that will do excellently. So we should be making 3 of these hardened upgrade kits, and like that, another quest is complete. Now let's see, what ones do we want to upgrade? Obviously, we're going to upgrade 1 of these steam-producing fellows, along with 2 of these. If everything works properly, we should be looking at some amazing upgrades here. And it looks like we get 2 more augment slots, so we could even consider, instead of doing the fuel catalyzer, which increases fuel efficiency, we could potentially look at increased output. I don't know. But for right now, we're going to toss in some fuel catalyzers into these slots, And like that, it should be a little bit more efficient on using the steam and the charcoal and just last a little bit longer. I think this amount of fuel, or RF per tick, will be amazing for us. So if all of these are operating at 240, that's another 50%, so something like 900 RF per tick. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That's pretty good. Unfortunately, that is probably going to have to be our episode for the day. We were able to upgrade our system in a fantastic way. We now have automated cobblestone, stone, gravel, sand, dust, and hopefully soon even clay. Along with that, we have a pretty close to fully automated system. All we have to do is provide this with charcoal. Yes, I know there's a sugarcane option. We're gonna get there, I promise. I just don't really like it. I kind of like chopping all those trees. It's fun. So let me have my fun, and I'm gonna let you have the end of the episode. I hope you're looking forward to the next one, because I certainly know I am. So, this has been Creeta, this has been Omni Factory, and I hope that you are well. Bye-bye!